Hi guys, I will talk a little Charles Dickens. First of all, let's talk about the biography. Charles Dickens was an English writer and social critic. He created some of the world's most well-known fictional characters and is generally regarded as the greatest novelist of the Victorian period. During his life, his works enjoyed unprecedented fame, and by the 20th century he was widely seen as a literary genius by critics and scholars. His novels and short stories continue to be widely popular. Born in Portsmouth, England, Dickens was forced to leave school to work in a factory when his father was thrown into debtor's prison. Although he had little formal education, his early impoverishment drove him to succeed. Over his career he edited a weekly journal for 20 years, wrote 15 novels, 5 novellas and hundreds of short stories and non-fiction articles, lectured and performed extensively, was an indefatigable letter writer, and campaigned vigorously for children's rights, education, and other social reforms. When his wife Keira Podest expressed distress at the way Miss Matron David Copperfield seemed to reflect her disabilities, Dickens went on to improve the character with positive features. His plots were carefully constructed, and Dickens often wove in elements from topical events into his narratives. Masses of the illiterate poor chipped in halfpennies to have each new monthly episode read to them, opening up and inspiring a new class of readers.
Most famous works. Oliver Twist is the story of a young orphan, published between 1837 and 1838, relates his adventures, beginning on the day of his birth. From the heart of a dying mother, becomes part of the shocked world of the living, where luck is not exactly his mate. The scenario begins to locate temporally and spatially on a cold winter night in a small town in England, where Oliver's mother is found by people who take her to a hospice to have her baby. After the death of his mother, the child will remain there for 10 months before being transferred to another facility where it will withstand the cruelties of Mrs. Mom. At age 9 he was taken to another institution where he continued his miserable life, being adopted by horrible characters.
So we need someone who don't.
My name is Jack Dawkins, better known as the Artful Dodger. Oliver Twist.
Canción de Navidad de Charles Dickens. It was published in 1843, and has 5 chapters which the author called stanzas. The action takes place in London, on a cold Christmas night. Its protagonist, Mr. Scrooge, is a greedy, cold and calculating, that work of 3 spirits, representing well, enabled the conversion of Scrooge, which is not progressive but abrupt and radical. After the death of his partner, Jacob Marley, our protagonist becomes sole heir to a fortune. Casually Christmas night, rejecting the invitation of his nephew and denying help to the needy, he retired to rest. There the spectrum of Marley, his former partner, comes, dragging chains, berating their actions, and foreshadowing that he will also be punished unless it receives 3 spirits.
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Hunt me no longer!
David Copperfield. This novel, semi-autobiographical, starting on his birthday, a Friday at 12 o'clock, at which it was bound, as the midwives of the place, to be unhappy and see spirits for the rest of his days. Fatherless, endured intrusion into his life, and his mother Miss Betsy, a rich and flamboyant aunt who would have preferred that the baby was a girl. However, his life no major incidents, until his mother decides to get linked to Mr. Murdstone, evil figure, accompanied by the presence of such a sinister like him who will suffer all manner of David misfortunes and mistreatment.
You've got a power. A new one.
David.
Historia de dos Ciudades. The story is set between 2 cities, London and Paris, at the dawn of the French Revolution. The first city symbolizes peace, second agitation, challenge and chaos. The first part is set in the year 1775 in France. Lucia is an 18-year-old girl who thought her dead father. However, thanks to the mediation of attorney Jarvis Lorry, manages to reunite with him and travel to England,